Gravity. Gravity is the force of attraction between two objects that have mass. Anything that contains mass has a gravitational pull. The strength of gravity depends on the mass and the distance of the object. The greater the mass of an object and the closer the objects are, the stronger the gravitational force. An example of gravity is an apple falling from an apple tree. Gravity causes objects with mass to fall to the ground. Some people might confuse mass and weight together. Well, mass and weight are two different things. Mass is the amount of matter an object contains. Weight is the measure of gravity on an object. For example, if your mass is 120 kilograms and you weigh 1,200 newton on Earth, but you weigh 200 newton on the moon is 1/4 the size of Earth, so the moon's gravity is less than the Earth's gravity. The moon's gravity is 5/6 less than the Earth's gravity. Even though your weight is different on the moon and Earth, your mass will stay the same. No matter where you are, your mass will always stay the same. Sir Isaac Newton. Newton is very well known for developing the law of gravity. He's the first person to understand and explain the theory. Most people would have heard of a popular story that Newton was sitting under an apple tree and an apple fell on his head, and he suddenly thought of the theory of gravity. People may wonder if this really happened. Well, it is only partially true. Newton did sit under an apple tree and an apple did fall, but not directly on his head. Newton was observing an apple fall from an apple tree and started to think. He thought about the acceleration the apple has because the velocity changes from zero as it hangs on the tree and falls to the ground. And then he realized that there must be a force that acts on the apple that caused the acceleration and called that force gravity. And it took him that quick second to think of that. Actually, it took him over 2 decades to think and fully develop the theory of gravity. He developed the law of gravitation in 1687. You may wonder why we have gravity. Gravity exists because the mass of all objects and the mass of Earth. The force of gravity is one of the 4 forces of nature. Gravity is very important and has a major effect on the world. In fact, gravity is so important that nothing would even exist without gravity. Gravity helps us stay on the ground and not float away and cause objects to fall towards Earth. Gravity keeps the planets in orbit, causes tides, gives weights to objects, keeps the moon in orbit, and many more. The most important thing that gravity provides is a blanket of air or an atmosphere, providing life to be possible. Overall, gravity is so important that nothing would even exist without it. What would happen if there was no gravity? Is it even possible to have no gravity? You might think that everything would be perfectly fine and we would just be floating around. Well, that is not true. Everything would immediately fly into space and die. Gravity is an important force and has a huge effect on Earth and the world. Gravity plays a very important role, and gravity is always on Earth and will never go away. There is so much mass on Earth, it is not possible to not have gravity. The most important thing held on the ground by gravity is the atmosphere and the water in the oceans, lakes, and rivers. Without gravity, the air in the atmosphere would immediately fly into space. Without an atmosphere, any living thing would immediately die, and any liquid would fly into space. Nothing would be living, and everyone and everything would immediately go to space, meaning nothing would even exist.